word alcohol
It's
is
from the
like,
spirit Akule.
yes,
Absolutely.
you knew that? I
Yes, it's to
believe
kill.
that.
It
It
kills you.
literally, yeah, kills your spirit and allows demons to come in. You know what I mean? And take over. Like I 100% believe that.
I can say this since this is our podcast.
Hmm.
I definitely was drinking when I put up the DEFCON tree. I definitely, I had, who's I want to say alcohol I had inside me,
Hmm.
but I don't know.
Oh,
Hennessy,
wow, it's interesting.
Hennessy. It turns us gray, and literally the demons
Just come
are.
in. Yeah, no, I
Mm,
honestly, I was fascinated when I learned that, the history of that. And it's literally because when you drink, you become a different person. It's almost literally like a spirit has taken over you. That's why they call them spirits. Did you know that? That's why they
yeah.
call them spirits.
Yes.
What's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? First and foremost, all praises be to the Most High. First and foremost, all praises be to the Most High. Back at you again, pilgrims in the earth. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate everybody who support me, who hit me with a like or share, you know, or even just watching. I appreciate it. This information I put out there for the world. I'm not really looking for no monetary gain. I just this is my due diligence to do the Most High's work the best way I can, and hopefully help somebody out with my testimonies or whatever I got going on. But yeah, man, I had this on my mind. It's very late. It's what 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But I usually get up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning every day. So I go to sleep very early. So I try to be the early bird to get the early worm. You know what I'm saying? I usually have stuff on my mind a lot at this time. But today, I wanted to talk about exposing the spirit behind alcohol, exposing the spirits behind alcohol, being under their influence. And what they always say you're under the influence. What are you under the influence of? What are we under the influence of? And alcohol is so prevalent, it's so common amongst our gatherings, our community. Everywhere you turn, there's a liquor store flashing bright lights. Why is this promoted so much in our culture? Even the entertainment business. You have they're always promoting a brand, an alcohol brand. All these different. If you can think about probably 10 brands you can name off the top of your head. I don't necessarily have to name them right now, but a lot of people just look at alcohol as a social kind of thing. I'm just having a good time. But a lot of us are, let's just keep it real. We undercover alcoholics. You know what I'm saying? We partake in these things and so much. And nowadays, with everything, inflation and everything being so stressful, a lot of people are dealing with alcoholism. But there's a spirit, as I just showed in the beginning of the video, there's a spirit behind alcohol. Of course, it's a flesh-eating spirit, and I can speak for myself. Most of my life, my adult life, I would say teenager life, I've struggled with alcoholism. How do I know that I struggle with alcoholism? Because it turned from having fun to me doing it by myself. Me being introvert and drinking under depression. You know what I'm saying? I would get my music. You know what I'm saying? I would separate from everything and I would drink to myself. Also, if there was an event, it caused a lot of anxiety in me. I really didn't want to, go to any gatherings or deal with people without being under the influence. So when I talk about these things, I'm really speaking of myself first off, but also, the experiences around me. When you look at, when you hear about flesh-eating spirit, this alcohol, this spirit it sucks you. of all your natural talents, all your natural gifts, all you know when you're young you have a you're very impressionable to people, but alcohol sucks all that dry. You know, when you see people in front of the liquor store and they're usually talking to themselves or yelling, and you know they're doing what they got to do to just get a little bit, and they sipping on the cheapest liquor you can find. That's usually one of the last stages of it. You know, because that spirit has fully taken over them. But yeah, man, let's get into it. You know, a lot of people, the reason I speak so candidly against alcohol, because that's one of the things that people look at crack cocaine, people look at heroin, people look at all these different things as the worst drugs, but we never look at the drug that we all can consume at any given time of the day and is readily available at any gathering or anything. You know, all these clubs, look at the clubs environments, you know. How many times have you seen conflicts or people lose their lives drunk driving from using this substance? I'd have been behind the wheel under the influence and made bad decisions also. So, of course, they have laws in place for you not to do something, but the opportunity is fully there. Yeah, so even looking back on the years of things that happened when I was under the influence, all of that is kind of like a blur for me. It's like a blur. You really don't remember too much because you were under the influence. Let me give you an example, right? And I remember drinking. You know, I say about twice a week when I get off of work from my, you know, little Fridays, I would go straight to the liquor store. Matter of fact, it became a consistent thing. You know, I would get off of work, go to the liquor store, drink. I would make it to work, of course, but it still was a hindrance to my performance. I found myself doing it every day. And when I found myself trying to quit, let's say I would ride past the liquor store trying to avoid getting, you know, my little drink for the day, I would feel like a shaking. When you start experiencing this right here, it's like your body reacting to, oh, dang, I need a drink. That's alcoholism. You know what I'm saying? Once you start experiencing that, it's, you know what I'm saying, you might want to start doing the necessary measurements to stop, you know, trying your best. Of course, I always tell people to fast, cold turkey, but, you know, it might not be for you, but that's the most effective thing. Also, blacking out. If you find yourself, you know, you having fun, you drink, okay, yeah, I got me a little pint, I'm about to go back to the store. And every time you're drinking, now you finding yourself drinking to get drunk, or you're blacking out to the point where you don't remember. I've been through this in my life plenty times. And the thing about me, when I'm at my low vibration of being an alcoholic, I tend to have a lot of people who admire my company. You know, it brings out a nice side of me, you know, might I say. Sometimes when I'm sober, well, of course I've been sober, but I'm saying like when I was sober, I kind of was like to myself in my mind, living in my mind. But, you know, alcohol will bring out a jolliness of me. You get what I'm saying? So I become automatically an outrovert, you know, when I was drinking. So a lot of people gravitated to that. So when I began, in times in my life, I noticed when I began to like sober up, a lot of those friends or associates that loved that side of me, it kind of like was like, oh, you ain't fun no more. You know what I'm saying? So, and it always been like that in my life. I naturally am I like, you know, I'm a social person to a certain degree, you know, but when I drink the alcohol, it's like, I feel good, you know, and you might be entertaining to everybody, but don't entertain, you know, to the point where you getting sucked dry. So in my case, I totally cut it out. You get what I'm saying? It's not for me. As I told you in one of the last videos, anytime I overcome alcohol and I start to go back a little bit, it always not ends well. You know, it might take years sometimes, but nah, not again. But yeah, so I'm gonna say this. Notice how you are when you're under the influence of alcohol, right? Pleasing the flesh, right? Everything that comes with alcohol or being drunk, think about it. Fornication, uh, you know, fighting, you know, confrontation. Okay, you do have the good side of it. Oh, we had a good time last night. But if you consistently are a casual drinker or you drink most of the time, you're gonna see these things. Go to an average club, right? Go to an average club on a Friday, one of the little young spots. You're gonna see some type of confrontation. You're gonna see some fornication going up in there. You're gonna see some, some things. Automatically, once you start drinking, you start to take on this insatiable lust. Oh, I wanna have fun. You might like to dance and all that, but usually it's a domino effect. So you'll start to experiencing, I want to get touchy feely. You know what I'm saying? And people usually make wrong decisions. That's why I say when you black out, a lot of times you don't remember what you did. And I've seen many people in compromising situations where their immorality is on the line. They did some things that they're not too proud of, but now you got to live with that because people are looking at you like, dang, you did some wild stuff last night. You know what I'm saying? And all you can say is, dang, I was drinking that. Nah, they don't want to hear that because what were you under the influence of? You were under who was behind the wheel when you were drunk? It was a demon. It was a spirit. So our ancestors understood this. So what they said was, you would have to keep it to a low drinking. You wasn't supposed to drink a lot to the point of getting drunk. But I think today it's a thin line because, everybody turns to drinking for, some sort of, therapeutic kind of thing. But it's a very dangerous thing. Yeah, it feels good, but eventually it will start to suck you. It will start to suck you, and people will see the gradual effects on you. Of course, it'll take the youth of you. Your face start getting fatter. Stop drinking for about 6 months and see how your body begins to change, or your mind. You start seeing more clear. Things start making more sense. So yeah, think about all the bad decisions you made drinking. Of course, when you're sober, you might say, I got $50 left to my name. It's in my pocket. I got to save this money because I don't get paid till next week. I have to get the kids some groceries. So, but when you drinking, you like, you know what? I ain't worried about it. I'm going to go ahead and get some more drink, man. I can probably run across some money. So you're not thinking logical when you're drinking. You're not thinking logical at all. It's all about pleasing the flesh, living in the moment, not worrying about consequences. That's why people make the worst decisions when they drinking. Make the worst decisions, especially when you're dealing lustfully with each other. You put it all on the line, if you know what I mean. Think about how common it is, though. Some people, this is a daily life for them. I'm watching, and I pray for these people because I was there too. I'm watching them on the social medias there every day. Every day is a party for them. So even when the party stops, you still got the drink in your hand because guess what? It's more than a party. It's a coping mechanism for you. So you have to really be careful and check your spirit. Protect your household. Your first household is your temple, right? Okay. Man, I done seen alcohol destroy people, man. I'm telling you, I done seen it destroy people. And all praises be to the Most High, for delivering me from that spirit. And it's always lingering around. So I'm very careful with how I move now because if we understood this fight was beyond us and it's an inside fight, these spirits, by the way, they call alcohol spirits for a reason. These spirits feed on the low vibration side of us. What's the low vibration side of us? The sin, the weak nature, which we struggle with. Everybody's might be different. You might get drunk. You might like to go to the casino and gamble all your money. You might get drunk. You might, you might go pick up prostitutes and risk, your risk your livelihood off of lust. Some people get drunk and they like to fight. They like confrontation. Family members, friends, everybody look at you like, oh, you tripping. You're a violent drunk. You're a confrontational drunk. Some people compromise, like I say, their morality. You have women and men that put themselves in compromising situations sexually. And now you're known as, I'm trying to be respectful, but you're known as, in a whore spirit. That can be for men and women. You're ready to deal with anything. You start drinking and you start looking around for, any opportunity to scratch that itch, might I say. And I've been there. I've been there in all cases. That's why I can speak on it. But yeah, man, I never want to speak on something without giving a solution. And my go-to solution has always been praying and fasting. If you're not into, the Bible, you're not into spirituality, fasting, detoxing, whatever, I strongly encourage you to look into it. Fasting is just not a religious, spiritual thing. It also has healthy benefits. If you look throughout history, fasting has always been a good thing. It's not only a good health thing, but it can clear your mind. It definitely can clear your mind. But yeah, man, I made this video because, and I know people like, dang, why do we keep talking about alcohol? Because it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. I remember waking up days, man, and like, dang, what did I do last night? I don't even know how I got home. Where my money go? Where my phone go? You just don't know. And it's a scary thing. There's people that wake up in jail like, dang, they done went backwards on a freeway, or they didn't put their children in unsafe situations. And now you got to live with that for the rest of your life. So I pray against that spirit, man. I pray, if you are going through that today, man, I pray that you can realize it. Number one, you have to realize that you're sick. Of course, we all got some type of, things that we dealing with. But I had to first realize that I was sick, man. I had to realize I was affecting my family. And most of all, I was affecting myself. So realize, and you have to say, yo, I don't want this no more. Because nobody's going to stop you from doing what you want to do. So again, do your research on alcohol. It's a flesh-eating spirit. What are you really under the influence of, and what's guiding you when you're in a drunken mind? But yeah, man, it's pilgrims in the earth. All praises be to the Most High. This is a short, quick one. But yeah, man, y'all like, share, subscribe. Peace.
Do you know about alcohol's dark spiritual history? Let's find out in today's video. Alcohol is so common in our society. Most people don't pause to think about the dark side of drinking alcohol. It is actually no secret among spiritual practitioners that alcohol is spiritually harmful and lowers your vibration. Why do you think it is legal, mass-produced and promoted across all of modern society? Many religions warn about the effects of alcohol. Islam specifically forbids its consumption. Soraya Almeida Tainti states, "O you who believed in intoxicants are but defilant from the work of Satan, so avoid it, that you may be successful." Buddhism teachings also advise against alcohol consumption. The fifth precept in Buddhism states, "I undertake the precept to refrain from intoxicating drinks." To understand its harm, let's first review the history of alcohol. The word alcohol comes from the Arabic al-kil, which means body-eating spirit. The current Arabic name for alcohol is another spelling of al-Ghul, meaning demon. It is also linked to the star known as Algin, which means the demon's head. Alcohol distillation was founded by early alchemists who were developing techniques to extract the spirits of a liquid. They believed that all matter contained a living essence, and that alcohol could be used to extract this essence from other materials. In a symbolic sense, alcohol has always been intended to extract the soul essence of an entity. This is very similar to what actually happens when we consume alcohol. When we consume too much alcohol, it essentially acts to extract our soul. That is why people who consume excessive amounts of alcohol always black out, not remembering what happened. In this vulnerable state, our body becomes susceptible to the influence of low-vibration negative entities. When someone goes dark after drinking alcohol, their body often becomes possessed. Once the entities have taken hold of the body, it is used to play out all kinds of dark acts, violence and low-level sexual encounters. How many times have someone you know gotten drunk and behaved in a dark manner? Spiritual master Paramahansa Yogananda describes similar observations in his book Man's Eternal Life. He recalls encountering non-benevolent spirits in the presence of intoxicated individuals. In terms of physical harm, ingesting alcohol also depresses the nervous system, kills brain and liver cells and weakens the immune system. Yet still, it is mass-promoted and supported by society. Why do you think that is so? Really, it is no coincidence we call certain alcoholic beverages spirits. The elite have to leave these telltale signs to alleviate their karma for misleading us. What should you do if you enjoy alcohol? Fret not, all things in moderation. Don't worry, there is little harm as long as the drinking is kept in moderation. Personally, I have stopped drinking for years. I enjoy ordering juices, tea and protein shakes instead. Now you know, there is truly a dark history behind this intoxicating substance. This concludes our mini-series on the dark history of alcohol. Hope you have enjoyed learning about this. Remember to like this video, subscribe, and share this important information with your friends and loved ones. See you soon for the next spirituality mini-series.